So I say you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. When you hear that, what does that mean to you? You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That means to me, like, if you're in an uncomfortable situation, you have to adjust to that situation. Make sure that you're comfortable to that situation so that you adapt to that environment.
Yeah, perfect. So when we're speaking about getting comfortable in them uncomfortable situations today, where did your mind go? And when you was on that high ground, when you was and I want you to be honest. I don't want you to say what you think I want you to say. I want you to be honest. When you're on that high ground and you're doing the workout, you're doing the 6 inches, you're doing all the crazy stuff y'all were doing today, where did your mind go?
My mom was really going to just give up, but I know that the people around me, they will not let me give up.
Yeah, environment.
Yes, sir.
And that's the difference.
Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A Podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Gilmore Jr. And to the right of me, man, we got a very, very special guest on the podcast, man. We got Mr. Trenton Small. How you feeling today, Trent?
I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling great. He says he's feeling great. Me too. I'm feeling great because Trent is here. Man, it's a great time for us. Appreciate Trent for being here. And to the right of him, we got the Rocket, the Heights of 7 Hills, Mr. Eddie E. Rock. How you feeling today, Eddie?
I'm feeling even better. Tell them what.
Well, I don't care. You beat me at ping pong.
I beat him 5 times, bro.
5 times at ping pong. Ping pong just not your thing?
Nah, not really.
Oh no, it's for trash. Hey, but man, it's a wonderful time that we're in right now. Those that don't know, just yesterday on June 2nd, this will be out a little later, so I shouldn't say yesterday, but on June 2nd, we started our Kut Different Summer Leadership Academy. And so we in day 2 right now. So as you're listening to this podcast, we're recording on day 2. We got Trenton here because Trenton is a part of our special group, all right? This year is a little different. We're going to get his experience, but I'm just going to tell you from my eyes. This year is a little different, man. The energy that we have here, the focus that we have here, the mindset that we have here, the brotherhood that we have here, it just feels different. We created a group, a lab group, LABE, Leadership, Accountability, and Branding. And Trent's a part of that group. So we're going to talk to Trent about that a little more. Before I get into it, what you need to do, all right? If you've been here before, tell me what you need to do. Like, subscribe, and comment. All right, like, subscribe, comment, man. Great content, great guests. And we're gonna keep it coming. July 25th as well. I know we're gonna put your flyer up so you can see it. July 25th, our summer gala. You probably gonna hit Trent on the stage. Trent, you gonna talk on the stage at the gala this year?
Yes, sir.
You gonna Trent? You want to?
Yes,
all right. So tell the camera, tell the people, right,
yes,
that you're gonna be talking on stage, so they need to be there to come see you.
I'm gonna be talking on the stage at the summer gala, so be there to see me.
Yeah, my boy. Be there to see him. All right. All right, but now July 25th, man, you already know we're gonna be putting our boys like Trent on display for the hard work they've been putting in this summer. So truly appreciate everybody. But like, subscribe, and comment. But Trent, man, to get into you, man, just to have a quick conversation, like I said, one thing we like to do, we like to highlight y'all, right? We have you here to highlight you, to amplify who you are and what you've done. Not anybody can sit in the seat, so it's something special about you that had you sitting in the seat next to me. I want to start off because I want the people to learn a little more about who you are. Obviously your name is Trent, but just tell them your name, your age, your school you go to, and just tell them how long you've been a part of Kut Different.
Yes, sir. My name is Trenton Small. I'm 13. I go to Howard Middle School. I've been a part of this program for 4 years, going on 4 years.
Yeah. So one thing about most people who join Kut Different, it's for different reasons. Some people, parents may say, hey, my son is acting up, he needs to join. My son is lost somebody, he needs to join. What was the reason that you joined Kut Different, if you can remember?
I think I joined Kut Different because I started acting up. I didn't have my dad in my life, and I was just at a time where I needed somebody to help me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so one thing about that, Trent, is things. A lot of people think about when things say it's like it happened to me. Like that situation, my dad ain't in my life because of something I done. I'm not gonna say it happened for you, but sometimes you gotta look at the bright side. When things don't go the way that we think they should. Okay, why did that happen? Did that happen for you to find gentlemen like us? Because maybe if your dad was in your life, you maybe never would have been a part of something like this. But now that he's not, now you're a part of something that's bigger than me, something that's bigger than you, and something that's continuously growing. So for you, you talked about your, I guess you wasn't acting the best. So if you could describe yourself when you first joined to now, what's changed in Trenton from the first time he walked through these doors to the Trent who's sitting in his chair right now? What's changed?
When the first time I walked through these doors, I was scared, nervous, afraid to help my peers. Just now, holding my peers accountable for their actions. I'm a leader. I hold people. I just help people, guide them through life.
Yeah. So scared. So I want to stick on that. So what you're saying, you've been scared. Why were you scared? Because a lot of young people are like that. And I think this is going to, so I want you to explain what you say. I want you to be real intentional on what you're saying. I want you to explain it. A lot of young people are scared of greatness, right?
Yes.
Because God created you to be great. But sometimes you will go into school, you'll go into different places and you will shrink. A lot of, not just you, a lot of young people, they shrink. So they're scared to be who they are because they care about what everyone else is going to say. So just how you say you probably was scared, it may have been that, it may have been something else. I don't know what it is. But why do you think most young people like your age or younger than you are scared and they shrink and not, not be owning their greatness like we say?
I think because they wonder what people are gonna think about them if they be different from other people, go out of the crowd, wear different things, don't be like other people, talking about people. If somebody's bullying and somebody, just help them up. Don't come in following with that bullying.
Yeah. So why though? So I want you to answer my question. So why? Yeah, they're scared, but why do you think they're scared? Like what? You say they're scared about what people are gonna say, but why though? You get what I'm saying? So I get that. So I was a child. I was a kid once too. Let me say that. Let me go back. So I used to do little stupid stuff. I knew who I feel like I was confident in myself, but I still would go amongst my friend and probably do something that I knew wasn't me just because everyone else was gonna do it. There's a lot of things in this world that's different from when I was a child. I need to know from you because you're a kid. So I know and there's a whole bunch of parents, educators, and other people that want to know the answer as well. What allows, again, so because you're Trent now that's saying you're a leader.
Yes, sir.
But you say you came in not being a leader.
Yes.
So what is it about most young people that stops them from being leaders?
What stops people? That's a good question. What stops people from being leaders? I would say they're not they're not, I don't know how to say this.
Sure of who they are.
They're not sure of who they are. They're not owning their greatness. They're not really pushing to know who they are, asking themselves, who are you? Who am I?
So, man,
Where you get that from, boy? That sounds familiar. But that sounds familiar. But no, when you're saying, and we call that self-discovery. A lot of stuff we do here. And so you, for the last 4 years, you've been going on a journey of self-discovery. And now and you just said it yourself. I don't want to put words in your mouth. You said that Trent is a leader now. You're correcting your peers. You're doing different things. So on this journey of becoming who you are, self-discovery, what are some things you've learned about Trent now that you didn't know before?
I've learned who I am of a person. I mostly learned, like,
take your time. Think about it. Ain't no rush. Think about what you learn. I want you to be truthful. So we just think about, because again, I get it. In your situation when you're young, like you probably got a million things you're trying to say right now. Just they're probably trying to come out as one, but just take your time because it's important. I want you to know there's a young man that may watch this. There's a parent that may watch this. There's somebody that may watch this and hear what you say, and they be like, okay, I want that for myself, or I want that for my child. I need to go find that. So you know what I mean. So what have you learned about yourself over this period of time?
I've learned who I am, who I am as a person, who I know how to follow. I also learned things about my peers, the people around me, who to hang out with, who not to hang out with.
Yeah. So what's some of the things that taught you that? Or how did you get to that point of learning these things? So what are some tools that somebody else can do to help them get to that point as well?
Join Kut Different, communicate. Try to go to communication class to help you talk to your peers. Also get a male mentorship that can help you, guide you through your life, teach you what the things about life and what are.
Yeah. So mentorship is important.
Yeah. And I'm thinking back to when Trent first, and because we was having that question, I was asking him how old he was for a reason, just trying to see, because there is a big difference in the way that he's sure of himself. Mm-hmm. He's confident in himself. When he first came, Trent has always been smart. There were certain times like after he got comfortable, he would say certain things to they was like, man, that boy's sharp, but being that he was younger, he wasn't. I guess he he wasn't confident in himself as much as he is now. Now he's been around us for what, 4 years now, right?
Yes, sir.
So now the way, he understands what we expect, and he understands what, what it is, like you say, like who to be around, who to follow, and you can see it's clear there. And to your point, what you're saying now, you can see the difference of, even when your homeboy is not doing what they're supposed to do, you're gonna tell them, whether it's telling them to shut up or just telling them chill out or whatever the case may be. You're still able to lead, and I think a lot of boys, even when thinking back when I was young, that's one thing that we always tell you, like we were never perfect. The same way that so the same thing that I see in you, I'm pretty sure it's across the board with all the mentors. We all were smart, but we chose to do the things that we did, and we could have been leaders at a very young age, but we were afraid to own our greatness in a sense, so we were afraid to tell the older boys to be quiet. Yeah. And I think a lot of times, and within the communities, that's what's really happening. There are a lot of young people that are smart. We had a young man yesterday when we did our mile run. Unfortunately, his dad isn't in his life either. But I was sharing with other mentors. I was like, with a kid like that, like he wanted to give up. As we were running that mile, he wanted to give up. But when I seen that he was slacking, I had my hand on his back and I was encouraging him, continue to run. So a lot of times we have these young men within the communities who may not have that positive male role model. So, I mean, I know you said join Kut Different, join Kut Different, or join somebody like Kut Different. Like you say, that that can be a great mentor to push you, because a lot of times you already have that greatness, but you just need you need that extra person outside your house to say, hey, you are good or you are great. And then I think within these last 4 years, you've been surrounded by, all these positive men. You've been surrounded by, you've come to our environment that has structure, accountability. So now you understand what it is. Like, okay, if I get out of line, these guys will hold me to a higher standard. So now I know how to carry myself. And outside of our environment, so the kids within the community, I mean, a lot of them, they may have it, but not to the exact standards that we have. And I think that's where a lot of the conflict or a lot of the issues come in.
Yeah. So mentorship is key, man. So everything we say, mentorship, guidance is key. We always say game, guidance, attention, motivation, and education. So speaking of game, man, so you've been a part of this thing for 4 years, right? So you had a lot of game that you soaked up. We just wrapped up day 2 of our 2025 Summer Leadership Academy, right? This is different. I feel it. I feel the difference in what's going on. I wonder, do you feel it? So what stood out to you after these 2 days of the summer? What stood out to you the most?
I feel like what stood out to me the most is that we have more leaders. We have more people that will come up to say to our peers, the people in the class, hey, stop doing this, stop doing that, be right, act right, listen, say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
How do we get to that point? So leadership's not an easy thing. So how do we get to the point of what's different about this summer that making people be leaders? Or is it just them over the time, the ones that's been in the program just becoming leaders? Or what's the difference? How do we get so many leaders this year?
I think that we get so many leaders this year is by people just seeing what people are doing. They're becoming followers, then they're coming leaders of the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so what's the biggest challenge so far? I thought we think about challenges, it's only been 2 days, but what's been the most challenging thing we've done so far?
I would say PT, working out 2 days.
Yeah. What about it? Talk to me. Tell me what's been challenging about it.
Just the mile run, the workouts today, having to do on that hot concrete, hands, burning hands.
But tell us, so they don't know what you're talking about. So what you did today?
So today we had to use a sledgehammer at the fire station, which we did a workshop. We had to push the sledgehammer into the little sled to in case of a fire. We had to do Navy SEALs, kick 6 inches, push-ups, air squat, Indian runs.
Yeah. So it's a tough environment, man. I told you guys before when you first came in, man, we're making you uncomfortable. I said it yesterday, I said it today. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I say you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. When you hear that, what does that mean to you? You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That means to me, like, if you're in an uncomfortable situation, you have to adjust to that situation. Make sure that you're comfortable to that situation so that you adapt to that environment.
Yeah, perfect. So when we're speaking about getting comfortable in them uncomfortable situations today, where did your mind go? And when you was on that high ground, when you was and just being, and I want you to be honest. I don't want you to say what you think I want you to say. I want you to be honest. When you're on that high ground and you're doing the workout, you're doing the 6 inches, you're doing all the crazy stuff y'all were doing today, where did your mind go?
My mom was really going to just give up, but I know that the people around me, they will not let me give up.
Yeah, environment.
Yes, sir.
And that's the difference. So comparing last year group with this year group, what was you? All right, I guess I already gave. So what's the difference between last year group and this year group with giving up? And be honest about it.
People last year, they would just give up. Nobody around them would try to help them up, like keep going. But this year, I think that we have more people that will tell somebody if they're trying to give up, just keep trying.
Yeah. And so Mr. Jamie asked the question about like over the years. So what's the difference between, like, why do we have so many leaders this year versus last year, right?
Yes, sir.
I think this year we have it's a younger group, but we have more of y'all that been here from like 4th grade, 5th grade. So now that y'all going to your 3rd and 4th year again, now it's almost like muscle memory. So now you've been mentored, or you've been shown a way to carry yourself, or showing how to deal with tough situations. So now it's a reflection across the board. This year's our group, I don't even know if you noticed, this year we have more younger boys than we do the older boys. The older boys were already set in their ways, and when we were teaching them the same thing last year, a lot of them they were already stuck, or they were already again just stuck in their way. They already had their mindset. So when at times they would do what we told them to do, but then a lot of times they deviated from that. Whereas this year we can see where, like you said, we don't even have to say anything. I don't even know if you noticed that. The mentors don't even have to say nothing. Me and Mr. Jordan have many conversations. It's just like, hey, you seen that? Like, you see how everybody just started doing, somebody say put up the ball, everybody put up the ball. We say or y'all say go in the room. Somebody asks us what time we got to be in the room. One of y'all say, no, let's be in the room at this time, but we don't have to repeat it. Y'all are leading the group yourselves. And I think, again, that's the difference between last year and this year. But again, you guys you were younger, and now you've been able to, you have more time to be shaped and mold. He just said game. You guys were given game from such a young age, so now that it's muscle memory. So now it's easier for you guys to lead everybody else.
Yeah, that's powerful. Man, so I do a lot of things, man, and I don't know if y'all see it. So I be trying to, get y'all riled up. So for last summer, I did my costume things. I wore a different costume. What was your favorite costume last year?
I'd say the king one.
The king one? All right, so you remember. All right, I like it. All right, so this year, just yesterday, I wore a costume, right? And I was, I had my tool belt on, and I gave a message. And, I say a lot of things. And a lot of, when you're talking to people, you wonder, is it sticking with them? Do they remember it? So I'm putting you on the spot right now. Do you remember what my message was about yesterday with the tool belt?
Yes, sir. Your message was about how you have to get people to give you tools, so that you put those tools in your toolbox or toolkit to guide you through life and to use those tools.
Like it, you remember. So I say, hey, I'm hitting home on these. You see what I'm saying? Hey, I don't need to take credit, but I'm dropping a little gem. You feel me? I'm dropping a little gem so they remember it. All right. But listen. So speaking of tool belts, and it's only been 2 days. So you can tell me, what have you added to your tool belt thus far? Or what are you looking to add to your tool belt for the rest of the 7 weeks that we have here?
I'm looking to add to my tool belt, to my toolkit, is really teaching more boys on how to become more like leaders, so that we have more leaders in our community. And also social media, doing the right things on social media, teaching people how to do the right things on social media with lab. Yes, sir.
I like it. So you just said something that stuck out to me. Say, so we can have more leaders in our community. So for you to pinpoint that means you probably think that we don't have enough leaders in our community. So for you to say that, why don't you think we have enough leaders in our community? Or why aren't there leaders in our community, a lot of leaders in our community?
I think because people want to be surrounded around the wrong crowd. They're following the wrong crowd. Like, they're following the bad people, not the good people. Then we don't really have a lot of leaders, but we have people that's afraid to speak out.
Yeah. That's a big thing. So, and we were raised like that. So, and that's a plethora of things. I'm gonna even help you out. So sometimes We speak to things, but we don't even address how we get here. So when you think about speaking out, we come from a community that we had slogans that, snitches get stitches. We had slogans that we don't snitch. There's all type of campaigns that we had that told people not to talk. Even when it comes from your household, you were told you don't speak about what happens in my house. You don't tell nobody about it. So we've been trained not to speak on other people's business, not to say nothing, to not to tell people certain stuff, keep stuff to yourself. Like we have a mindset that's been wiring us so long to do the things or act the certain ways we have. Now that we hear, and I'm hearing you talk about leadership, and I feel personally, that more people need to speak out. More people need to be leaders. For you, Trenton Small, what do you think needs to be done? Like what does a community need to hear from a 13-year-old boy about what does our community need? Obviously leaders, but what more does our community need for more people to start speaking out?
We can host more communication class to open to the public like y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
We can have a leadership class open to the public so that people know how, not just being leaders, but how to be different leaders. Don't be this and that leader, different leader.
Yeah, I like it.
So, and I go further. So the problem the reason why we probably didn't have a lot of leaders before is because we have so many of the older leaders, and no disrespect, whether they're preachers or whether they're certain people that had high statuses within our community, they didn't want the younger people to speak up. So when you have young people, or when they had young people within the community that could have said something, or they would have or would have said something, they're telling them, or they told them, you're speaking out of turn, or that's not how it goes. So you have a lot of people that, and I'll say around our generation, back when I was school, there are probably a lot of young people, a lot of young men that had great ideas, but kept it to themselves because they were afraid of what the older people were going to say.
Yeah.
But now I think the way that society has shifted now, which is why I love what we do, because now it's one of those things, because we grew up that way, like you said, our parents taught us, you do as I say and not as I do, or we didn't have a voice. You feel like you have a voice in your house, like you can tell your mom how you feel?
Yes, sir, kind of.
Yes. to like a respectful level.
Yes, sir.
Well, no, not in our house. I remember vividly getting, slapped in the mouth or getting, now I'm on punishment or whatever because I was telling my mom how I felt. So as a young person you've already been trained a certain way to think. Now I can't tell you how I feel, so I'm gonna just shut down. So any idea that I have or anything that may be positive, I'm afraid to go against you. I'm afraid to tell you how I feel because now even though I'm telling you how I feel on the inside, I got to keep that to myself. So that's why a lot of people around my age, that's probably how they felt then. But now society has to understand that y'all young people, even my daughter, she's 13 years old. One of the craziest things is having to realize that's Dad, you have to listen to how I feel. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I got to listen to how you feel, because if not, then I'm going to shut your voice down. Yeah. So now that somebody that can, if we continue to train you guys to speak out when against other people in a respectful manner, as you get older, you'll be comfortable with speaking out to society, like to people in society or on social media, whatever the case may be. But and I think that's where Kut Different and the things that we teach, we're giving you all the platform to be able to say if something is right, speak about that, and something you can speak against it. Whereas not feeling like you can't say anything because you're afraid what the next adult is going to say to you.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah. So even so, Trent, one to transition a little bit, school is I want to kind of start having a conversation about school, because one thing we do here, we're trying to build you to be a leader, not just a leader in Kut Different, a leader in the community, a leader within your school. Most kids spend a lot of most time at home and at school. So again, we want you to be a good son, a good brother, but we also want you to be a good student in school. So we want what we do here to transition over there. So to get in a conversation about school, how do you feel your last year, your school year went?
I think my last year school year didn't go that great. I didn't feel like I did great.
Okay. And when you say you didn't, is that because of what factors? And again, you made it through, and I'm pretty sure. But you're such a leader. You're holding yourself accountable to the high standards. So, and I appreciate you for that. But what are some things you could improve on when it comes to school?
I would say my grades, um, just listening sometimes, turning in my work.
Yeah. What do you feel like? So that's cool. I appreciate the honesty. But what do you feel like school is missing? So for a young man like yourself, who is cut different, when you're in school, what do you feel like school is missing? Like what's there when you get there and you're like, man, I wish my school did this or had this.
I would say more about leadership, more about our society, not just about the white people, more about black people.
Okay.
Let's learn about Americans,
Yeah.
African Americans.
African American. So learning more about black leaders, black leaders that came
Yes.
before you. Yeah, I like that. Who is speaking of that? Who is your? I wasn't expecting you to say that. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't expecting that.
I was about to bust out
I wasn't
laughing.
expecting that. I wasn't expecting.
I heard him. He giggled a little bit.
Speak your truth. But speak your truth. But who are speaking of black leaders though? I like that. So because you got to see it to believe it. So somebody that came before you and you can see that. So you're right about that. But who are, if you can look at some black leaders that you look up to?
I would maybe say my cousin and what he's doing.
That's dope. What does he do?
Filmmaking.
Okay. Film, FILM.
I think that's what he do.
Okay.
So some with movies and stuff.
Yeah, film.
Oh, you talking about
Caesar?
Caesar?
Oh, see that, yeah, cross facing. Yeah, that's what's up. But they talk so that and that's cool. So he's from Ocala, Florida. He's out in LA. He's a product of FAMU. So CJ faces. So talk about what that does for you. So to know that your cousin is making movies, making films, what does that do to a young man like
It
you?
really helps. It motivates me to be where he is or even higher.
Oh, yeah. And what so again, if you can see it, you can be it. If you can see it, you can be it. So this is key. This is key to what we do. So exposure is key. If your cousin never would have reached that height, you never would have do that was a thing or a level that you can go. So that is very important. So you spoke about leadership. You wish school teacher taught leadership. In your own words, can you tell me what leadership is? What is leadership to Trent?
Leadership to me is somebody that can help you out, help you in life, no matter like if you need help in life, if you're down, you could have someone to talk to that you're comfortable to talk to.
Leadership, Trent. One thing I'm also thinking about, Trent. So when you walk into school, do you feel like your school understands you and your situation? When I'm painting a picture, what I'm saying. So there's so many kids that go to school, and school can become a thing where it's I'm just here, and my teacher's trying to tell me to do this, but she don't understand like what just happened the night before. Do you feel like your school takes the time, or the people at your school take the time to understand you, or not?
Some people they sometimes do,
Mhm.
but most teachers they're mad at somebody and they'll take that anger out on you, and so they really don't care what you
Yeah.
feel.
I like it. How would if Trent today went and built the school, right? What would you teach? How would it look? What would you teach? And how would it be different than the school you go to today?
My school would be like modern. It would be boys and girls, K through 12. It would be different because we would have people that would actually lead and not have people that would show you the right way. We would have math, regular course classes, and then we have just art, culinary if you want to cook, classes that people will want in life that could take you somewhere.
Yeah, real life skills.
So
All right, so real skill. Yeah.
something like a trade.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I like it. So again, I asked you this cool thing because obviously, we're getting to a point that we're getting more out there about, what we building in the school that we got going on. You understand that we're going to build a school, Kut Different Academy. How do you think, and I ain't going to say nothing about it, I just want to hear your perspective. How do you think Kut Different Academy will change our community?
I think Kut Different Academy will change our community it will help. It will be a place where more boys can see themselves in life, see how to become more of a person in life, more of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I like it. So how has Kut Different helped Trent see himself?
Kut Different has helped me with my leadership, communication, help me even though when I'm down, just don't take it out on other people no matter what. My social and emotional learning, coding, help even if you need that in life,
Yeah.
which some people might need.
Yeah, you're gonna need it too. Coding is the world. Everything you do is gonna code. Like we're in a digital era, so everything is gonna be digital. Literally everything you do. I mean, it's showing now. You're going to restaurants, you're pushing buttons. You're gonna go like the thing of this human interaction is going to change. There's probably going to be no restaurant, no convenience store that you're going to go in where you're going to have a human to human interaction. It's going to be a machine, and that's coding. Somebody had to code that thing to put it together. So that's why we bring that here, computer science and coding course, because we understand the future. So most young men like yourself, you have to be ready for the future. The things that I think that's most important to a young person is the future, which knowing the future, which is like AI and the things right now, financial literacy, and I think self-awareness. So self-discovery, understanding who you are. I feel like if you can package those three things up together, you can figure out the rest of the things out. And leadership, obviously self-discovery, leadership, and all those things come within that. So if you had to teach, all right, and so I just told you my thing. If you had to, for the rest of, if you had to teach three things, you had a son right now, and there was three things you could choose, and you can hope that your son knew at the age of 13, the age you are right now, that you hope he knows by the age of 13. What would those be?
How to be a man, things about life, what not to do, what to do, how to guide himself through life, and also leadership, holding others accountable for their actions, holding yourself accountable for his actions.
Appreciate you, big dog. Hey man, Trenton Small, man. Again, one of our leaders in our lab, leadership, accountability, and the branding, man. I'm really looking forward to see what's to come from this group, man. We're just getting started again. We day 2. But young man like him, man, this is what's changing the game. You can think 4 years. He's committed himself 4 years to the standard of what we do, and it's only gonna get better and better for this young man. I mean, I'm truly excited to see the young man who you are, and the young man that you're becoming. I know you're gonna change the world, man. So from me to you, man, stay committed to yourself. Don't allow nobody to trick you out your position. Don't allow anybody to tell you who you're not. Because you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You also were created to be great, and you just have to know that. You have to understand what's your greatness, and you have to chase that. Again, you just said it in the beginning, but who am I and where am I going? Always know the answers to those questions. Who am I and where am I going? It may change. The where you going may change. The who you are is going to change. The same Jamie this Jamie I am today, tomorrow and the days after, I won't be, because every day we're getting better and we're learning new things and being exposed. So it may change the way you see things and the way you think. That's okay. But you have to understand who you are at that moment. So every day, wake up trying to question and re-identify who you are, and just knowing where you're going, man. So we truly appreciate you. Miss Eddie, got anything for Trent?
Yeah, let's continue to be the strong young man that you are, bro. Life gonna always throw different obstacles in your way, but I think you're surrounded by a great group of guys that's gonna always teach you all, again, accountability, but always pushing through. And again, Mr. Jamie said it, these are the first 2 days of a summer leadership academy that we ever had that I think have been tough on purpose, because I think it's going to build a mentality for us down the road, throughout these next 8 weeks. But again, just because I'm speaking of the 8-week summer leadership academy, but as it compares to life, things may after high school, where you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what type of obstacles life is going to throw you, but you got to keep pushing. At the end of the day, you're a man, no matter what. All right.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And that's something I was thinking too, man. In a world where everybody trying to go viral, while they trying to go viral, you go inward. And when I say that, where everybody trying to go viral, you go inward. And while they out here trying to chase the world, you just get inside your body and question and see who you are, because that's going to help you be able to come out and be able to attack this world for what it is. So that's something I feel. But 2 questions as we wrap up. First thing, if there was any young man thinking about joining Kut Different right now, what would you say to that young man?
I would say to join. You can learn leadership, more about yourself, who you are, where you want to be in life, who you want to be in life. They can really guide you, help you hold your peers accountable.
Yeah, I like it. So when it's all said and done, my last question to you, Trent, when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a leader, someone that's positive, that has a positive attitude and positive around their community. Somebody that holds is there for someone when they're down, needs help, comfortable. They need to comfort somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, one thing about you, I believe you, man. One thing,
Keep
you're
saying it,
being
dog.
very consistent with your messaging today is being a
Leadership,
leader
yeah.
and being accountable and holding people being there, man. So truly appreciate you, man. So if y'all don't know, man, what you need to do right now, you need to like, subscribe, and comment. All right, this is another episode of the EL2A Podcast. One thing we do, we pride ourselves on transparency here, man. So we bring in young man up here like Trent to be able to just be themselves and talk. And you don't know how hard this is. It's hard for somebody to come up here and speak in front of cameras and be on a podcast, be when the lights are on and do these different things. So I truly applaud him for having the courage to come up here and do this. So it means a lot, man. And I truly hope that y'all are really liking the honesty from him and what we're trying to do here, man. We're trying to build leaders, man. We're trying to get these boys confident with themselves, confident with walking out into the world and being themselves and also being leaders. If you heard something he said this whole episode, he talked about leadership, talked about helping others. And that's what we all about, man. So we're building a young man to have that mindset. And again, he's gonna lead the force. So like, subscribe, and comment. July 25th, man, our summer gala. We got more and more coming, man. Just stay tuned with us, man. We're gonna keep this thing going. All right, peace. We'll see y'all next week.